Yo, what up? Good morning. How's it going, everyone? What up? Good morning. How's it going, what up, everyone? Jacob? Good morning. Psychotic freak back in the building. Jacob? Good morning. Yeah, I wanted to go live during the weekend. Yeah, I wanted to go live during the weekend. I didn't. I needed to rest. I got this idea where, like, I'm gonna go live 3 times a day. I'm gonna go live 3 times a day. And so one early in the morning, I'm gonna break like news and politics up in the morning, and create that. And then while I'm offline, I'll still be online. I got playlists, music videos, skate videos. Then I'm gonna go live in the afternoon. Skate videos. I'm gonna go live for more of like the chilled videos, for more of doing memes and like scrolling and just fucking around. Maybe at like scrolling and just fucking around. Maybe at like let's see. Does it? Fucking around. Maybe at like let's see. Does it? Fucking around. Maybe at like let's see. Does it? Let's see. Does it? Let's see. I think I got it figured out. Hold on. Thank you. Is it fixed? Come on now. Someone out there. Hell yeah, man. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna go live at 9, at least Monday through Friday, and then at like 2, I'm gonna come on for like 3 hours. Just chill back, watch some funny videos. And then at night, like at 8, I'll come on and get back to doing like Monkey and Omegle. And then back in the morning, I'll be on at 9 again to just chop up the news and everything. I'm a little unprepared with what's going on, but I tried my hardest because I had to just realign this new set. It's an idea I had on Friday, and I was like, yeah, we just need to triple the time I'm on, so we got to find a way to do it. I can't really sit here for like 8 hours straight, but I can break it up in sections. So, yeah, let's get to it. Hopefully, yep, looks good. Looks good to me. Nice. And, yo, what up, Ernest? What up, Ernest? Oh, we got JD Vance already in here. He's already a big fan. Maybe you can co-sign me. Shit, what happened this weekend? We had the big protest going down, and that was insane. That was insane. I actually had a little bit of a protest going on myself, online, where I was in a local group just talking absolute mad shit to people online, and the post blew up. It was like a local post here, and I was like making fun of everyone, and I got like 500 likes and 500 comments, and I just shit talked everyone. Pretty funny. But the protests, we're going to look at a bunch of like clips from that. We got Trump with his tariffs. The stock market is absolutely crumbling. And fart coin is trending. That's what I'm most excited about. I think I might have to grab some fart coin like ASAP. It's going up in stock while the stock market is crumbling. Fart coin's just rising. Yo, Onion Boy, what up? What up? Yeah, let's look at some hilarious protest videos. I had it up here. Yep. Let me move it here. Yeah, fart coin in the building. Some hilarious stuff. Let's catch up on the weekend. Grab him by the testicles. Wow, they're getting really creative. Everyone out there. It feels like it is kind of like a art show where it's almost like all the artists come out and they're like, look at the new signs. Look how I use paper mache to build this Trump head and stuff like that. So kind of fun. I do like that it shows a little resistance, but you know, does it really do shit? No. Breaking: massive anti-Doge Trump protest in Vegas, more than a mile long. Okay, that was April 5th. This is what happened in Vegas. Over a mile long. I think it was pretty big out here where I'm at. I think that they had a pretty big protest. They had like thousands of people. And It might have been bigger than this.
Huge
Maybe
protest,
not though. I
miles
don't know.
long
People, there's
on the Vegas Strip.
people there that are
Miles
there for
going all the
vacation,
way back
so they don't
from
care about that.
Aria all the way up to Caesar's Palace.
What does he have to say?
Miles
Up to
long
Caesar's Palace?
of
Nice.
people protesting.
They're having fun though.
Miles of people protesting.
Screaming and chanting. It is more about a community thing. Yeah, it probably was honestly, it probably was kind of fun. And kind of ridiculous at the same time. This guy says, so fucked that even introverts are here. See? And he got his crayons out for this one. You're going to have to give that guy a round of applause. This happened Saturday, happening now in DC. A massive banner has been unveiled. Hands off, hands off. Yeah, this is pretty messed up. I saw this. This has all the names from the people in Palestine, which is actually pretty heartbreaking when you look at all those names. That's a long, big list. That's sad, guys. The war must be stopped. No doubt about it. Hi, same Americans. This is your European friends calling. Just so you know, our media is covering your protests. Here's some more protesters. Wow. Here they go. They're in the rain, too. They brought their damn umbrellas out. They brought their damn umbrellas out for this one. I wonder where this is. Does it say where this is? Hands off protest. Trump and Musk. Oh, this is in Texas. Conroe, Texas. Wow, they're going against Trump in Texas, but it doesn't look like there's as many people as there were usually. Now, this one's huge. Pittsburgh. They all came out. They all came out. Wow, won't change a thing. Trump is still your president. People battling back. You gotta love it. It's almost like sports teams at this time. People need something to believe in. And yeah, you know what? I don't agree with either side fully, but if there's no opposition, what fun is the game? You know what I mean? Like what? People want to win. Look, protest gone wrong. Wait for it. Uh-oh. Let's restart this. Turn this up. Oh boy. We have an enraged leftist on our hand. Oh my God. He said, calm down.
That was wrong. That was really fucked up, and that's going to be dealt with. And this person's
yeah,
gonna
that
be
was
okay,
fucked up.
And we're all here.
We gotta. Oh, that is so fucked up. Oh my God, got bitch slapped.
That was wrong. That was really fucked up.
That is too funny.
And that's going to be dealt with. And this person's going to be
okay. Protest in Calcutta against Wharf. Okay, let's move past that. Currently protesting in Boston today. Wait, what did it say? In Boston today, April 5th. This is just one more than, what about 1,200? Protests. So 1,200 protests went down. That's a lot of people right there. Wow, this looks big. Protest. USA is finally having fun. That's what I'm telling you guys. It's about fun. They're using it for fun because it's a community event. And it reminds me of the art scene too around here. It's people don't even do it for the art. They're doing it for the community. And if you are a great artist, but you don't care about the community, they hate you. So I'm glad I'm not in that. Protest, Phoenix, Earth, you in danger, girl. Who the hell's that? I've never seen that. Not quite sure what that is. Impeach Trump, fire Musk. Orlando, Florida, protests. More protests, more protests. Look at these guys. It seems like everything stayed pretty chill for the most part. I don't think anyone died, which is surprising anymore. You know, people have been, it's just been brutal out there. Wow, look at them. They're going in. They're absolutely going in. Thousands rallied in DC and worldwide against Trump, calling their agenda a billionaire power grab. Grab him by the power, he said. Grab him by the power. And that's exactly what he did. People are calling Trump delusional, but the thing is, he is delusional because anyone delusional has the ability to grab that much fucking power. It doesn't, you have to be crazy. You have to be crazy to be able to do something like he's done. He's formed a cult. Genuinely. He really has. Tampa protest. Down in Florida. They're having a ball, baby. Cookout. I would have been out there like just selling, trying to cash out like anti-Trump shirts. I'm sure there were people, they're just, I love that when people pull up and they like don't give a shit about the cause, but they just like capitalize off of it, off of like a shirt. And they're like, yep, we got to get these. My cousin's got a t-shirt making business. We're going to slide through. And they sell out, dude. What are some of those signs say? Forget red versus blue. It's rich versus you. Save the bees, plant more trees, clean the seas, punch Nazis. See, they're getting creative. You got to love it. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Oop, that last one was, congressional pedophiles would rather see this country burn than do what's, and I can't read the last part. A lot of people came out of the woodwork I saw on Facebook. Like, it was more of definitely like an older people's rally than a younger person's rally. I wish that I didn't get kicked out of the group this weekend where I battled all these people online. I wasn't even on a side. Like, I wasn't on the left, I wasn't on the right. I posted in this big group with 90,000 local people in it. I said, what did I say? I said, whoever just drove by us at the protest and yelled, "Get a job," should be arrested immediately. And everyone went off on me, and I'm like battling 100 people, and I'm like, they're like, "You stupid fucking asshole." Like, I wasn't at the protest, obviously, but I was just trying to rise conflict locally, and it definitely worked. It was the highlight, for sure. Happening now, take it back movement. Take it back movement. Where is this? Oh, damn, they're having protests all over the world. It's that spring vibe. We gotta break free and meet some new friends while we fight. For the majority of people don't really have a clear sense of what they're doing. There is a few people with some good points. But try to find ways to win the war, not just the battle. Longmont says hands off. Look at them. They're going at it. They're going at it. It looks like not that exciting, to be honest. I think, oh God, what does this guy have to say?
In fact, there's actually 197 groups, organizations, whatever, that have been put together for today. Okay. These groups and organizations were actually busted texting one another saying, put phone numbers on your arms so when you're arrested, you know who to call and what attorneys to contact. Not if you're arrested, when you're arrested.
Protesters should still pay taxes and be forced to donate the money. Doge. Trump will be giving back to citizens.
So these people obviously had no intentions of going out and civilly protesting today. What's funny is half of them have no idea what they're protesting. Literally no idea. What is it you're protesting? I'll ask. What is
this
it?
Guy's so fucking maggot out. I mean, I have to make fun of both sides. We have to make fun of the extremes. We just have to, guys. Because there's a lot of goofy fuckers out there, dude. This guy is He's got the cross, the Jesus cross, the tank top, the body cross. He's pumped up on test. He's in it to win it.
The taxes that Trump's cutting, the pedophilia he's exposing, the trafficking, closing our borders, making America safe. What is it? What was it? Doge giving you guys like $5,000 back? Yeah, here soon. Money be given back to you. Please do not accept that money from Elon and Doge.
He's too wrapped up in it. I'm out here deep in red South Florida, and there are nearly 2,000 patriots fighting to save democracy, marching in 88-degree weather. Look at that, all that. This is the first. They're gonna. You know what? Elon Musk, you caused my grandma to have a heat stroke, you asshole. Make it 1984 fiction again. Trump is a national security risk. Will your job be lost to Trump's tariffs? Good question. I don't really have a job. And I make most of my money quietly. Anti-Trump protests. Look at this. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Look at that. I mean, that's art. No doubt. And it's a statement piece. Kind of silly, yes. Talk about an attention grab. Nazi on the dress. We got Musk. I'm not sure what that symbol is. It's a human shield. With a baby. Yeah, that's pretty creative. Not gonna lie. 3.5 million Americans took the streets yesterday to protest against. What else do we have? What else do we have? As part of the global hands-off, there's a lot of content from these protests. There's one it wasn't here. If you're going out this weekend. Okay, look at this. Here's a map. Hey, Trump, do you know why the protests are happening all over the country? We all know that you don't give a shit about anything or anyone else but yourself. You are a disgrace to our country and will go down in history as the worst president ever. Map and list of nationwide hands-off protests. Hey, that's a lot of protests. Let's. If that's really where they went down, that's a lot of damn protests. Other than that, let's check out the Trump stock market absolute insanity collapse. Okay? Let's get over here. I've got a couple videos saved for you.
The breaking news this morning, we are witnessing
Billionaire Trump supporter warns off economic nuclear war. This was just posted, I think, 40 minutes ago. Let's skim through this real quick and see what they got to say.
The rapid destruction of the market.
Turn it
Stock
up.
futures are plunging this morning once again as the turmoil from President Trump's trade war is rocking markets here in the United States and around the world. Donald Trump's baseline 10% tariff across the board, it went into effect Saturday. And also so many countries are bracing for more as the targeted tariffs that he announced are set to kick in Wednesday.
Right.
So far today, Hong Kong's main exchange dropped 13%. Taiwan.
Damn. Wednesday, guys. We got a whole new story on Wednesday. We got a whole new energetic shift on Wednesday.
Exchange saw its biggest one-day loss on record, and the S&P is now nearing a bear market defined as a drop of 20% or more from a recent peak. Add to that, billionaire hedge fund manager and Donald Trump supporter Bill Ackman is now somewhat leading Wall Street's backlash to the tariffs, calling Trump's tariff plan a, quote, self-induced economic nuclear winter.
Wow.
Also saying this is not what we voted for. Facing
Yeah, no, this is what you voted for. People don't understand the long game, which is the problem. And yes, I believe that you should keep any president, politician, oppressor, leader in check at always. The problem is that, and I don't even think Trump is explaining it properly, it's a long game. It's going to go down before it gets better. And will it cause a lot of heartbreak in the process? Are people pulling out of the stock market and losing their minds? Yes, but you don't play the stock market to pull out when things get scary. You know, you have to believe that it's going to come back up, and it's going to come back up. I wholeheartedly believe that. It's a long game, but I believe it's going to be fine. But yes, keep them in check. You have to. If you give any power, someone with that amount of power and influence, free reign, there's no telling what they're going to fucking do.
All of this brutal reality, the president and his team are offering mixed messages on a key question in all of this, which is the president willing to negotiate?
Right.
Or are these tariffs here to stay? Here was the president last night on the way back to Washington.
No, they're not meant, guys, they're not meant to stay. They're meant to influence change so the narrative gets changed and people start respecting America again. That's what's happening. Honestly.
Now, I'm willing to deal with China, but they have to solve their surplus. We have a tremendous deficit problem with China. I do want to solve the deficit problem that we have with China, with the European Union and other nations. And they're going to have to do that. And if they want to talk about that, I'm open to talking.
On TV.
As Matt
Okay.
Egan starting us off for what is going to be another rocky day. But what's happened
He downplays market chaos, they say.
already?
Well, Kate, look, fear continues to dominate financial markets.
That's exactly what you got to do. He's a global leader. He moves with war strategy.
Around the world. And make no mistake, this is all about the president's decision to launch a trade war. Now, this is how bad things are. Futures are down 2%. This is actually good news. This is an improvement because overnight we saw Dow futures were down 4% or so, about 1,500 points. You mentioned the Hang Seng in Hong Kong. This was the worst day for the Hang Seng since 1997 when Asian markets were in complete crisis mode, right? And so this is an indication, though, that futures...
Hey, what's up? Wow, I like candy. That is a freaking hilarious name. Hey, welcome to the chat, yo.
Futures are going to open with the S&P trading just above what would be a bear market, right, which is that 20% decline. Just for some context here, if the S&P closed in a bear market today, this would be the second fastest bear market in history, second only to 2020 during COVID and surpassing the 1987 crash. Look at this. So this is the S&P 500 so far this year. You can see things were getting a little bit rocky in February and March.
Liberation Day. And they were like, we're breaking fucking chains. There's so much symbolic meaning in that, where it's like, bitch, we're free. We're out of the grips of being intimidated by other countries. And remember, I'm not pro-Trump at all, but I do have discernment, and I can see the long game, the long moves. These guys don't move impulsively. They have a strategy and a plan you're not going to figure out unless you already think like that.
And then Liberation Day came last week when the president rolled out his tariffs. And look at this. It's gone basically straight down since then. The S&P 500 lost over $5 trillion in value after Liberation Day. Look at this complete wipeout. And you mentioned, Kate, that we are starting to hear from some.
Yeah. He said, F you, China, Ernest. He did.
Notable billionaires speaking out. Bill Ackman, who endorsed Trump and has been a very outspoken supporter.
That is a lot.
Of elements of the Trump agenda. He is basically pleading with the president to change course. He put out this tweet last night. He said that the president...
lengthy statement,
It was.
The president has an opportunity on Monday to call a timeout and have the time to execute on fixing an unfair tariff system. Alternatively, we are heading for a self-induced economic nuclear winter, and we should start hunkering down. Ah! The majority of these people have so much money in the stock market. They live off the stock market. Their identity is on the stock market. And they're terrified. They're tariff-eyed.
Most of his are. But he said that the president has an opportunity on Monday to call a timeout and have the time to execute on fixing an unfair tariff system. He said, alternatively, we are heading for a self-induced economic nuclear winter, and we should start hunkering down. And Kate, we may find out in the next few hours whether or not the president is going to heed these calls.
I mean, according to his team, they're coming. This 90-day pause that he's asking for, there's no sign of it yet. Stand by to stand by. And you have some context also, just putting the beginning of the Trump administration into historical context in terms of the market.
Yeah, it's been atrocious, right? So the S&P 500, since the president was sworn in, has lost 15% of its value. This is the worst start to any presidential term since the S&P 500 launched back in the 1950s.
Well, maybe for the
and
S&P.
again, this is being driven by recession fears. We heard Goldman Sachs overnight came out and they bumped up their recession odds. They now say a 45% chance of a recession, although they said it would go even higher if the tariffs kick in.
So guys, I mean, this morning, it's the real fallout and the ripple effects that keep on rippling from the markets. And then there's there's the political impact of it, which is a real big question mark right now. Markets and then.
Well, I think it's going to be fine, guys. Honestly, I would say something like this is kind of like a storm that comes through and shakes everything loose, and it gets the scaredy cats out of the stock market. And it shakes the tree, and it makes more room for the big bosses, the risk takers, to actually do what the risk takers do. And I know it's hurtful. It's hurtful to a lot of people that put their life in this, that are just like a small family man. But that's not, like, if you're not willing to take that risk, the stock market probably isn't for you. If you get scared on something like this.
U.S. President Donald Trump's tariff-induced market mayhem appears to just be getting started.
Okay, let's look. Let's see what else is going on. Let's where'd I put that? Refresh this. Put that over there. So European stocks tank 4% as global tariff rout deepens. Yeah, he's making all these countries fucking fall to their knees. Global markets plunge on Trump's tariff turmoil. 5 things to know before the stock market opens Monday. Okay, tariff. Let's break into the live feed on CNN. Trump's tariffs could slow green transition even further. So much tariff, dude. We've been tariffed on the news today. It's Monday morning and markets are rattled. Trump's trade plan. I promise tomorrow I'll have everything set. I just woke up this morning and I was like, let me put this together. Let's check out Elon's feed on X. Apparently he's leaving Doge, but I guarantee he's not leaving Doge. They're saying that to make it look like he is. Prometheus Unbound. Okay, let's get to the politics on here. He posted, socialism, you lined up for bread. Capitalism, bread lines up for you. That's actually kind of funny. That's pretty funny, actually. He's not saying nothing. Well, let's see. Let's check out DJT. Let's see what he's got to say, his latest thing. We saw these Houthian video or whatever. That's just brutal. Fucked up thing to post. But I'll tell you why he posted it, and it wasn't for like clout. This is my honest perspective, is to scare the absolute shit out of every other country. And he might only do this once, but that keeps other people from coming at us. He doesn't really post on here. Let's go to his Truth Social. So 5 minutes ago, breaking news, guys. Countries from all over the world are talking to us. Tough but fair perimeters are being set. Spoke to the Japanese Prime Minister this morning. He's sending a top team to negotiate. They have treated the U.S. very poorly on trade. They don't take on cars, but we take millions of theirs. Likewise, agriculture and many other things. It has to change, but especially with China. Can you even see the comments? If I don't even have a account. This is the first time I've ever been on here. So I'll have to get an account to see that. So 33 minutes ago, he said, the United States has a chance to do something that should have been done decades ago. Don't be weak. Don't be stupid. Don't be a panicking. A new party based on weak and stupid people. Be strong, courageous, and patient. And greatness will be the result. Yeah, patience is a big one. Just with something like this, it's only been 2 months. I'm telling you guys on the left, just be assertive, smart, and patient if you want to stand up for your cause. And 2 hours ago, he said, oil prices are down, interest rates are down. The slow-moving Fed should cut rates. Food prices are down. There is no inflation. And the long-time abused USA is bringing in billions of dollars a week from the abusing countries on tariffs that are already in place. This is despite the fact that the biggest abuser of them all, China, whose markets are crashing, just raised its tariff by 34% on top of its long-term ridiculously high tariffs, plus not acknowledging my warning for abusing countries not to retaliate. They've made enough for decades, taking advantage of the good old USA. Our past leaders are to blame for allowing this and so much else to happen to our country. Make America great again, Donald Trump says 2 hours ago. So he's coming out hot this morning. Let's see if there's anything else he said. So let's read this 14 hours ago. It's the last one I'll read. We have massive financial defects with China, the European Union, and many others. The only way this problem can be cured is with tariffs, which are now bringing tens of billions of dollars into the USA. They are already in effect, and a beautiful thing to behold. The surplus with these countries has grown during the presidency of Sleepy Joe Biden. We're going to reverse it, and reverse it quickly. Someday people will realize the tariffs of the United States of America are a very beautiful thing. Okay, I will say, in 3 months, if something hasn't changed, if prices aren't lowered, and 3 months seems like a short time, but honestly, it's a long time. There's billions, trillions of dollars being transferred every day all over the world and into the United States. If there isn't a change in 3 months from Liberation Day, and that's me being gracious with time, then there's something wrong. So let's be patient. I say, I also think that it sucks for the people that own Teslas to get their shit fucked up. But on the other hand, it was good to kind of put Elon Musk in a position. This guy is a super duper billionaire. Power. He wants world domination. There's no doubt about that. To keep him in check for people's well-being is to remind him that, he didn't get elected. This is very, very true. You might think it's stupid, and guess what? You're entitled to that opinion. So I got nothing against you. I got nothing against you. They said, let's just skim. Let's see if there's any news that is trending right now. Real quick. I'm telling you guys, I'll have a really slick format. I might even wear like a suit jacket in the morning. I'm going to do like throughout the day have different outfit changes. But I want to make the news show fast, way faster than this, straight to the point, live feeds ready to go, back and forth, stuff like that. Black Monday, stock market crash is trending. Okay, back to the damn stock market crash. Down with the system, he says. The system is exploitive and unsustainable. No, not the system. This is very true. This is actually a very good meme. This represents how these are the same people that say fuck the cops, and they're the same people saying he's a rapist, he got convicted, the system said so. So discernment, folks, discernment. That's the word of the week, is discernment. Let's get some clarity in our brains, okay? Let's be able to see what's going on and take a step back and see it from a higher perspective. Remove ourselves emotionally from it. Any more current news? Okay. Not really seeing anything. So U.S. news. Okay. What to know about the destructive spring storm system? Hey, guys, if you guys are in some places like Florida, get ready. Hopefully there's not too much big storms. We even got a crazy one up here close to Chicago. Flooding fears rise as saturated rivers crest. Death toll at 19. What? Wait. This is from 7:43 a.m. This is in Kentucky, guys. This is a state below me. Monterey, Kentucky, a deadly storm system that slammed a swath of the national with tornadoes and torrential rainfall for days was lingering over the Mississippi River Valley on Monday and slowly sliding to the southeast. Rescue crews in boats swept across cities and towns as floodwater rose. At least 19 people have died since the storms developed Wednesday. That's sad. Rest in peace. According to authorities and media reports across the southeast. Flood stage, the Kentucky River near Monterey, about 20 miles from the capital, Frankfort, is 33 feet. It's expected to crest Tuesday morning at 57 feet, which would exceed the record by 3 inches. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of changes in the weather. Flooding and evacuations have led to additional concerns. They said, now we're worried about looters. Yes, that's big. People don't give a fuck. Dude, your neighbor will fucking loot you. I've asked the state for help, but if they don't send any, I will sit out all night in this truck if I have to. And you just might have to, brother man. Here's a couple pictures from the flood in Kentucky on the Monterey River or something. Wow. There we go. Flood. Better have that insurance. The Tennessee Department of Health has confirmed 10 weather-related deaths in the state amid of several days, including tornadoes and flooding. The severe weather was diminishing in some areas, but not the dangers. River flooding will be a concern across Middle Tennessee through midweek as well. So remember, turn around, don't drown. Please. Turn around, don't drown. I like that. That's what they're... You know what? We're actually going to have some people protesting the river. They'll be out protesting the flood with their signs. But the truth is, there's no one to blame. You can't blame anyone. You can't find... Elon Musk didn't cause this, guys. Trump didn't cause a flood. You know? The Weather Service... Wow, that's sad. Let me actually let's skim and see if we can find a quick Quick video. Floods, Kentucky. Let's find a quick one. One of these 2-minute videos I'm liking. Boom. Let's take the top one and get on it. Wow. Drone footy. No sound, though. That's just absolutely sad. It's depressing almost. Wow. Look at that. That's bad. That's going to ruin some stuff, but it's not taking everything out. Look at the Dollar General. Woo! Keeping the people alive. God save the Dollar General store. That's crazy. Yep, that's their whole town. That's crazy because that's their whole town. And then people live way scattered over here. Very sad. This is some choppy footage with no sound, but it's actually good footage. Let's see. Let me speed it up. Let's speed this up. Yeah, I'm going to work on having the fastest news show you've ever seen. Boom, boom, boom. Headlines in your brain, in and out. Okay. No sound on these. That's just ridiculous, guys. Okay, let's move on. Google News. We saw the flood. Okay. U.S. sidelines DOJ lawyer involved in deportation case, which judge calls, probably won't even let me open it. Wholly lawless. Who is this? DOJ puts government lawyer on leave after hearing. U.S. judge calls detention of Maryland man lawless. Appeals court ruling come as soon as Sunday. Man sent to El Salvador, ordered to be returned by late Monday. Actually, let's look at that El Salvador drama. Insane. The guy that mistakenly...
Tonight, a federal judge giving the Trump administration until Monday to bring back this...
Ooh, too fast. Playback. Normal. We got it. Boom.
Man to the United States from the high security prison in El Salvador.
This is
where
so
he was deported
messed up. Thank God they're getting him back on Monday. That's a big mess up. He's scared for his life.
The Department of Homeland Security acknowledges he was mistakenly put on a plane to El Salvador with more than 200 men.
Oh my
The administration
God.
claims are violent gang members because of an administrative error.
Was an administrative error. The administration maintains the position that this individual who was deported to El Salvador and will not be returning to our country was a member of the brutal and vicious MS-13 gang.
But today, Judge
He
Zinner
was or
saying,
wasn't?
in a court of law, when someone is accused of membership in such a violent and predatory organization, it comes in the form of an indictment, complaint, criminal proceeding, a robust process so we can address the facts.
Wow.
I haven't yet heard that from the government.
Watch breaking news on YouTube.
Wow, that is sad, guys. It's kind of scary. What else happened? The Lori Daybell trial, opening statement set to begin in murder case. Have not heard of that. Idaho mom who killed 2 of her kids go on trial over death of her husband. Drama. This is some more. This isn't too much global drama. Damn. Idaho mom who killed 2 of her kids goes on trial over death of her husband. Pfft. Who do you think killed it? Her husband. We're going to grab a link right here. Oh. Copy. Boom. Here we go. There's the Lori girl.
Lori Vallow Daybell is serving life in an Idaho prison for killing her 2 youngest children and conspiring to kill a woman she saw as a romantic rival. She is now on trial in Arizona and has pleaded not guilty to a charge of conspiring to kill her 4th husband, Charles Vallow. She is said to have believed in a religious doomsday as part of her Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints faith. Police body camera video shows her former husband telling police he thought she had broken with reality.
Lost her mind.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know how else to say it. We're LDS. She thinks she's a resurrected being and a god, and remember the 144,000. Jesus is coming next year.
She has
schizophrenia.
Chosen to represent herself. Opening statements in the case are scheduled for Monday, April 7th. Prosecutors plan to call the grandmother of one of the children to testify at trial. Valo Daybell's witness list includes her mother, father, and 2 siblings. The trial could
turned
last
into Charles Manson.
6 weeks.
That's sad. Don't kill anyone, guys. Okay?
Opening statements are set to begin.
Don't kill anyone. Here,
convicted of killing
here's
her
more
2 young
details.
children in Idaho. Now she's facing 2 separate murder conspiracy cases here in Arizona. Valo Daybell is representing herself and has pled not guilty. 12 News journalist Erica Stapleton is covering the trial.
We are expecting a lot of people to be watching come Monday when opening statements start. Lori Valo Daybell is representing herself.
Really fucked up drama.
We've already seen some tense moments where she's arguing in front of the judge. An explosive buildup.
Oh, wow.
I feel like the state is trying to say, okay, if you want your speedy trial, guess what? We're not going to let you defend yourself.
As Lori Valo Daybell gears up for opening statements.
She already killed her 2 kids. Look at her. She has went off the deep end. No doubt about it. Those eyes. There's a thin line between being a genius and just an absolute psychopath.
Her first trial in Arizona. The Doomsday Mom is already
Very
convicted
fine
in
line.
Idaho of killing her children, Tylee and JJ. In her first Arizona trial, she's accused of conspiring to kill her former husband, Charles Valo, so she can be with her current husband, Chad Daybell. She's pleaded not guilty, and she's representing herself.
After she killed her kid, look, she's insane.
Fundamentally a narcissist. I'm not
She's more than a narcissist.
surprised at all that she is attempting to represent herself.
Rachel Smith was a prosecutor on Valo Daybell's murder trial in Idaho.
The most powerful evidence applies to all the victims, but we'll see a very different case, I think. It'll be very focused on Arizona, what happened there, and Charles Valo.
Damn.
Charles Valo warned police about his wife's darkening religious beliefs that are
Wow.
ultimately the core of this case. But in 2019, Lori's brother, Alex Cox, shot Charles Valo dead at the family's home in Chandler.
Oh my God.
He's not moving.
Prosecutors argue that Lori conspired with her brother to kill him. Cox can't be charged because he died, reportedly of natural causes, before this case was brought in court. Through hearings and court motions, we're expecting Valo Daybell to bring up self-defense.
Many pro se defendants act as if there's some grand conspiracy to get them, or
Right.
at least that's the narrative they try to paint.
Lori's husband, Chad Daybell, was also convicted in Idaho for murdering Lori's kids and his first wife, Tammy.
What? What is wrong with these people?
He was sentenced to death in
He
that
looks fucking nuts too. What? I mean, I'll be honest. What kind of drugs were these people taking?
state. Lori got life in prison and will go back there once her cases in Arizona play out.
Dude, she looks like someone I know.
We will see the impact that Lori Valo, Chad had on multiple lives coming out of this trial. And sadly, we're going to see that Charles' effort to get her help and his effort to deal with it failed, and it cost him his life.
Right.
Lori Valo Daybell's second trial in Arizona is
Wow.
also a murder conspiracy case. She's accused of plotting to kill her niece's ex-husband, who ultimately was not injured. Opening statements in her first trial are scheduled to start Monday morning. Erica Stapleton.
That's terrible, guys. Rest in peace to those kids. My golly gee. What do people have to prove by killing someone? That's the question. Nothing. It's not that serious, guys. It's all relax. Like I told you guys a couple days ago, if I was around when Hitler was around, I would have told him to take a chill pill and just kick back and relax. Okay? It's not that serious. It's not that serious. World news. What we know about the case of Gaza aid workers killed by Israeli fire. Eyewitnesses recount deadly Israel attack on medics in Gaza. Israel military walks back account of Gaza medical worker killings. World market plunges with Japan's Nikkei driving nearly 8% after big Wall Street meltdown. That's what's happening. Everyone all over the world's feeling it. That's so insane. Yeah, it was a circuit breaker. That was a matrix breaker move right there, guys. That was a matrix breaker move right there. It reset the hierarchy, the social hierarchy. French far-right floats toppling government in wake of Le Pen verdict. Le Pen supporters rally in Paris. Yep, we read about that a couple days ago. The fatal quake in Thailand. Let's read about that real quick. That's devastating as well. Myanmar's fatal quake deepens political turmoil with no path to peace. Here's a picture. Look at this. It's a beautiful picture, but their whole city's falling. That's a matrix breaker right there. Myanmar's ruling military junta is seizing the aftermath of a deadly earthquake as an opportunity to regain control amid a grueling civil war, but a lasting ceasefire remains unlikely, analysts say. The massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake 2 weeks ago, one of the strongest to hit Myanmar in a century, jolted a nation already devastated by a brutal civil war that displaced millions of decimated in its economy. Well, there you go. That's a sign to say, hey, stop the fighting. You think you have it bad? The universe makes it worse to make you realize it ain't that bad. The official death toll rose to 3,471 as of Sunday, with thousands injured or missed. The U.S. Geological Survey's predictive modeling estimated the death toll to eventually top 10,000 and economic losses to exceed the war-torn country's annual GDP, which stood at $66.8 billion in 2023, according to the World Bank. Just hours after the quake, the ruling junta declared a state of emergency in the hardest hit cities and issued a plea for international aid, a move that represents a stark contrast to the aftermath of Cyclone Nargis that hit the Asian nation in 2008. Then the junta had initially rejected international aid, eventually resulting in death tolls over 84,000, with tens of thousands missing. Wow. Let's check a YouTube video out about if there's any updates on that, and then we're going to see what's going live. It looks like Sanders is live. We're going to open that up and
of the American economy
pause that.
Today. And you know what?
Let's check out the earthquake real quick. Let's see a quick video if there's one updated to see the true aftermath. Uh-oh. Wait.
How hard it is. We're going to make it impossible for you to vote.
So they got physical. They're getting physical at the U.S. House. Hold on. This might be breaking news. This might be breaking news, guys. Hold on to your seat. Looks like someone's grabbing someone.
Mr. Tillis.
Come on. Where is it? We need the highlights. We need the highlights. All right, let me put that to the side and keep moving. Damn, where is it? We got to find it. Never mind. Earthquake updates. Looks like, wow, here we go. Rescuing dogs in Bangkok.
Searching for missing people and comforting others in need. Following a devastating
That's cool with
earthquake
the
in
dogs.
Southeast Asia, a team of rescue dogs has been working in Bangkok, Thailand, to find people who may be trapped by the rubble of a collapsed building. But when they're not searching, they're getting loved on by survivors.
Aww.
The earthquake has taken an emotional toll on people who lived through it, and some who are still holding out hope of finding missing loved ones.
A dog has amazing powers, and touching a dog really gives some nice relief for people, so it's a good emotional support.
While some people have been found alive days after the quake, the longer people are missing, the less likely they will have a good outcome. Officials say 20 people in Thailand and nearly 3,000 people in Myanmar have died from the quake.
Wow. At least they're putting the dogs, you know, it is true. I got my dog. She's laying here. She's a gigantic Great Dane laying on my bed. She's just sleeping right there, right next to me. And yeah, it's just, she's the biggest blessing. I shape my life around her. All right, let's see Sanders live. Bernie Sanders live at the White House.
Like kings.
I love his look because he just looks like angry and deranged.
Another America. And in that other America, 60% of our people are living paycheck to paycheck. And millions of workers from one end of this country to the other are trying.
You said Larry David? Yeah, it kind of does look like Larry David.
Wages.
That's pretty funny.
Unlike Donald Trump, I grew up in a family.
Dude, yeah, he's got the same attitude and everything.
That lived paycheck to paycheck. And I know the anxieties that my mom and dad have living in a rent-controlled apartment. Can we afford to buy this? Why did you buy that?
Okay.
That's the story taking place all over America. What does living paycheck to paycheck mean?
Okay, tell us.
It means that every single day, millions of Americans worry about how they're going to pay their rent or their mortgage. All over the country, rents are skyrocketing.
The people who are working hard.
What happens to me and my kids if rent goes up by 20%? And I can't afford it. Where do I live? Do I have to take my kid out of school? Where do I put my kid? In worst case scenario, do I live in my car? Let's be clear. There are many people.
Okay, this isn't live. This isn't live. This is live, though. We saw that the other day. I don't know why they would say they're live when.
Of the Trump approach.
So, U.S. Senate votes live. Some Republicans vote to halt taxes on Canadian imports. Wow. Really? Okay, there we go. There we go. Trump's tariffs will crush Vermont. That would basically squeeze us out of the marketplace. That's what Melanie Harrison, small organic dairy farmer in Addison, says. It feels like death by 1,000 cuts. Stoney Thompson, small-scale vegetable farmers in Huntington. If the 25% tariff was applied in full, it would be about $130,000 to $150,000 unbudgeted hit to our food procurement efforts. As a charitable organization, we don't have a consumer to pass along that cost to. Jason Mering, Vermont Food Bank. Truth. Truth. I can see the desperation of small business owners, nonprofits, charity. People need donations from places, and when these places hold back their donations, you know, those crumble. So let's hope to God this all works out. It could be a miserable downfall. It could definitely be a miserable downfall, but let's keep hope, guys.
Food Bank, Jason Mering. We get some of our vegetables from the Quebec side of the border. If the 25% tariff was applied in full, it'll be about $130,000 to $150,000 unbudgeted hit to our food procurement efforts. Catherine Durand of Agrimark.
Okay.
The ripple effects that this could have on energy markets and, of course, manufacturing is very heavy.
Yes, it is true.
Matt Cook from PC Construction. I'm just concerned in general that it's going to further stagnate the ability for some of these much-needed construction projects to move forward. Dennis Borbo Custom Homes, they build about 3 or 4 homes a year. Good business in northern Vermont. We would be strongly affected by the tariffs in terms of equipment costs for U.S. producers. I'm very concerned with the possible effects of this. Another, I can foresee the making homes unaffordable, which they already are. You know, just
it's all, hey guys, the prices are already up. And I went to the grocery store a couple days to get groceries, and I hadn't been there in a couple weeks, and I swear the prices were up. There was no deals. There was nothing. So yeah, make sure you keep these fucking people in check. Like I said, I'm not left, I'm not right. I don't hate Trump, I'm not pro-Trump, I don't hate Kamala, I'm not pro-Kamala. I'm none of that. I'm trying to give you guys an unbiased perspective.
For itself.
Just logic.
And assert its authority and protect the constitutional promise of separation of powers, because we know that the concentration of power leads to the abuse of power. And by the way, that's exactly what's happening right now. And secondly, let's not be deluded by a fantasy economic theory that is at the core of this. It just makes no sense.
You said, Mr. Logical. I'm so logical.
It has no credibility.
Logic.
It has no intellectual foundation. Who knows how President Trump came to believe in this so much that he asserts it.
Yeah.
But third, if we look at what's the impact on the people we represent, the people who build homes.
Like I said, people just can't afford that hit right now, and even if it's a long game, it immediately takes people out. It's a true paradigm shift. Within a year, the market's going to be changed. There will be a lot of places that were hanging on by a thread closing, and there will also be new places coming in, though. It's a big, swift shift and a kick in the ass to a lot of people.
The people who farm our fields, the people who tap maple syrup, the people who run health clinics, the people who run food banks. And we ask them, hey, how is this going to affect you? Will it help? Will it hurt? And when every single
definitely not going to help right now
of those people we represent who are doing the hard work day in and day out.
And imagine a lot of the investors for these places have so much money in the stock market where they took all their money out, they closed their accounts, they got out of the system over the weekend, and now there's no investors to keep a lot of these small places and business owners in business.
Say, Peter, this is a disaster.
He raised his family, sent his daughter to college, and he and his brother got interested in sugar-free desserts and candies because their mother was diabetic. So he spent the last 36 years building his business, and now he might have to sell his factory because of the trade war that President Trump has started with Canada. Shatila's Bakery makes sugar-free desserts.
Right.
They get some of their ingredients from Canada.
Okay, it's crazy that they try to like express these like real homegrown stories. And I just don't think it really grazes past anyone. Which is sad, because this isn't just one family. This is hundreds of thousands, millions that are being affected. Look at this. Here's the market. What do we got? I will have to update my mind on the stock market. Doesn't look good. Does not look good. Let's see what else is live. We got Fox News live. Let's check in with them. So, Karen Reed faces murder retrial in death of boyfriend. This is live. Is there even... It's live with terrible volume. Well, you guys tried, you know. Kinda, for a news station.
Very important
Here we go.
constitutional principles that I've outlined for you. First, that the burden of proof rests entirely on the Commonwealth. Second, that the burden of proof is proof beyond a
A retrial.
reasonable doubt
Wow.
and to a moral certainty. And third, that the defendant has absolutely no burden to do anything. She doesn't have to testify. She doesn't have to present any evidence. Her lawyers don't have to ask a single question. Anyone that would have difficulty following those very important constitutional principles, please raise your hand.
Yep, don't date a crazy bitch, man. They'll take you. They will drag you through their emotional trauma. Like their trauma is a car, and you're like being drugged behind it at 150 miles an hour. Discernment, guys. Word of the week.
Thank you. I can tell you folks that after every trial, I talk to jurors, and they tell me that not only was the jury experience an interesting one, most times they tell me that it was a very rewarding one. But I do understand that for some of you folks, serving on this jury may be an undue hardship.
I'm going to ask the chat what happened.
Every civic duty we have causes us to be inconvenienced. An undue or a substantial hardship is much greater than that.
So the details say Karen Reed's second trial is underway. 10 of 16 jurors have been selected for Reed's murder trial. Reed is accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Okay, let's find a video about that. God dang. Okay, that's a live trial, but let's see the story. Why do all these girls look the same?
On this case.
Karen Reed is accused of hitting John O'Keefe with her SUV.
Dude, they look the same. Yeah, she definitely hit her. I've been chased down by a woman in her car many times.
Karen Reed is accused of hitting John O'Keefe with her SUV and leaving him to die in the snow.
Their relationship was not a happy one.
Not a single witness actually saw this happen.
There's a whole
no
side
way.
of the story.
This is funny, Ms. Reed.
They've got her guilty already.
So, did you drive your car into John?
I love how cinematic this is. Like it's just a TV show, like a reality series.
Doing this film is my testimony. I want to say what happened exactly.
She's way too chill.
John was a Boston police officer. We went to the bar with a bunch of cops. Jen McCabe invited us to the Alberts.
Oh, she did it.
Last I ever talked to him when he got out of my car at Brian Albert's house.
Everybody liked Karen. And everything changed.
He was found dead on the lawn of another police officer.
This is one
What?
of their own, and
Whoa.
that raises the stakes.
Miss Reed stated that she hit him 3 times. I hit him. I hit him.
I hit it. That statement doesn't appear on any of the tapes. They were shot.
I'm not on trial. I am a witness.
It's impossible to have any sympathy. They're all lying.
She'd smile or laugh.
She's posing for
I don't know. Well, I don't know how I would act if I was in that situation and not guilty.
Her behavior, in conjunction with the hard evidence, points in one direction.
DNA evidence placed parts of John on Karen's car.
Feels like I'm in a bad dream. This can't be real.
She was angry. She had been drinking.
How many calls?
There was over 50.
What did you text about going through Karen Reed's phone?
Wow.
No news so far.
There were gasps.
One of
He said no nudes so far.
most uncomfortable moments of this entire trial.
Shame on you, sir.
What? He said no nudes so far.
Elle magazine wants to feature me.
Oh my God. Psycho killer.
Was the happiest murder defendant in America.
You're either pro Karen Reed or you are pro police.
It's become a civil war.
This justice system will never be the same after this.
I can't believe what's happening to me.
Yeah, psycho bitch for sure. Oh my God. She's juicing that right before they throw her in the pen.
Karen Reed, hers
But,
is the hot crime name
you
of
know.
the summer. Millions of people.
You don't know what happened, but that's pretty psychotic. To just try to blow up the trial. And then her boyfriend's dead. Okay, Doge Senate hearing live right now. It's not, though. It's not happening. Okay.
Pose a number of questions to you as
sorry,
a group.
guys.
Taking an oath that requires you to truthfully answer those questions.
Audio's too messed up. Let's see what's on MSNBC. Same stuff. Same stuff. Let's do a quick I don't know. Google Trends. What's trending right now? If the news is on here, let's do a quick rundown if we can find anything. Men's March Madness, stock market Jade North, Bitcoin price, Rockets versus Warriors. Doesn't look like anything's happening as of now. I think we covered the majority. And then for the final thing, this might not interest anyone in here, but I'm going to run down local news. And then I'll be out of here, and I'll be back on this afternoon to kind of chill out and do some fun stuff. And do kind of my regular stuff. But I wanted to section off the news and make sure I hit that in the morning. Because a lot of the people that are in the afternoon and stuff don't give a shit about the news. And neither do I. But the old heads are up. Investigation underway after man dies in downtown Elkhart. Let's check it out. What are they saying? What are they saying? An investigation is underway after a man died in Elkhart. Move this. Man died in Elkhart Sunday morning. Shortly after 7 a.m., a person flagged down an Elkhart police officer to let them know a man was unresponsive by an alley on South Main Street. Damn. That's usually what happens in Elkhart. The man was pronounced dead at the scene. His name has not been released yet. That's all they have. They're just doing a great job out here, aren't they? Late spring, early summer, start planned for Grandview Apartments Townhouse. Annual AG Days taking place this weekend. Indiana University's South Bend sexuality professor remembered for popular, memorable classes. Wow. Sexuality professor. Ooh. Betty Mooney had a sparkle that made you lean in and listen. She could make you smile with her honesty and candor about sex. Betty died February 21st at the age of 99. That's interesting. IUSB will have a celebration of her life from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Monday, April 17th at University Grill in the Administration Building. Students, former students, and community members are encouraged to share memories of Betty. Betty taught for nearly 45 years and 30 years in South Bend. She retired in 2013 at the age of 87. Her classes on sexuality were always ranked high in student surveys and were well attended. One student wrote that it is too bad that you couldn't take the class twice. Ooh. Yeah. She received a number of grants to study and work in Europe, the Middle East, and South America. In her spare time, she served as executive director of Planned Parenthood. North Central Indiana. Wow, she did. Okay, so she was more of a hardcore leftist activist type. Talking about sex. I bet her classes were pretty interesting, not gonna lie. Okay, well, rest in peace, Betty Mooney. South Bend gets design funds for new splash pad. Center provides childcare or okay, nothing too interesting. But yep, nothing too interesting around here. Anything else? If that's it, we're gonna log off here in a minute and I'll be back on around like 2 o'clock for about 3 hours. 2-3 hours. And I'll be back on at 8 to do Omegle and Monkey, which we got to do because that's where the fun stuff's at. We got to have a party at night, news in the morning. You know how it do. And pop in 3 times a day. And in between, I'm actually going to leave my stream on and play like some music videos and some different playlists, kind of like MTV. So let me bring that up real quick. And hopefully during the day, I'll be able to load it up. And I'm actually going to try to get this, have a more of a 24/7 thing. And I even am thinking about putting this on Roku, where you can have all of this streaming live through Roku, where I have my own app and channel. But I have to figure out how to get it going 24/7. So you can just download like a Wax Adams app on your phone and be able to watch 24/7 on here. There might not be a chat, but it doesn't matter. All right. Let's get to the playlist, put on some music, and then I'll be back around 2. If you need to listen to some music, this is more of some underground alternative stuff, but I will keep changing it up. And wait, that's not how I'm gonna do it. Yep, this is my first round at this, guys. So let me create a whole new scene. Hold on, guys. Almost there. We're in the dark. I can't see. Here we go. Hold on. Hold on, guys. What the heck's going on? Should have had this prepped. Hold on. bad. Okay. Look at that. I like that. All right, guys. I'll be back at like 2 o'clock, 2 in the afternoon. So enjoy whatever pops up here. If you're bored, want to listen to music, just click on this. We got music videos. All right. Hey, thanks for coming in the chat, everyone. And while like candy, stay until the end. Fuck yeah, appreciate that. I'll be back.
Si lo veo con poca claridad, esta vez si lo siento, cada vez un poquito más. Ya llegó el momento de ver qué hay detrás. Me quedé sin aliento, que me falta es soñar. Ya no aguanté más y sin sufrir, vi el universo sobre mí. Tanto tiempo me cuesta entender que nunca lo perdí. ¿Será que puedo vivir asumiendo donde voy? ¿Será que puedo principio no era personal. Se acabó el partido, ya no podemos jugar más. Nunca tuvo sentido que me hicieras desconfiar. El camino que sigo, al infinito todo le da igual.